are not thinking of regionalization. But if you want to speak about regionalization, we can tell you that the North is so blessed today by the special grace of God with everything that you think a country can have and survive greatly. If there's going to be that regionalization of government, I can tell you that in 10 years, with proper arrangement and proper leadership, Northern Nigeria can be competing with Dubai. It can compete with any fast developing country of the world, because the gold deposit that is in Zamfara and the gold deposit that is in Kaduna in Birnin Gwari, I can tell you that that of Zamfara is more than what you have in South Africa and Ghana put together. Don't forget, South Africa depends on gold. Ghana, it's also dependent on gold, but put together, so the gold deposit in South Africa and Ghana put together is not up to what we have in Zamfara. It's also not up to what we have in Birnin Gwari as gold deposit. So even on that term alone, it means Northern Nigeria can survive. Don't forget, for every state in Northern Nigeria, you have not less than 7 different natural resources that can be, if harnessed, the state can first stand on its own. Second, each of the state natural deposit resources that is there can also sustain Northern Nigeria, 19 northern states. Now, each of the 19 northern states have not less than 7. Now, if you bring this together and harness it, and you have a good leadership, qualitative leadership, patriotic leadership, I can tell you that in 10 years, I repeat, Northern Nigeria can compete with countries like Dubai and other fast developing countries. And the same thing if you go possibly the oil-rich country of the other part of Nigeria. They can do the same thing. The same oil that you are talking about, we have in the north between Bauchi, Gombe, and Yobe. Another one has just been discovered in Nasarawa State, between Doma and Akwa, that axis. And the deposit, you have a deposit that can be harnessed for the next 75 years in commercial quantity. So we shouldn't be thinking of regionalization. We should be thinking of nationalistic movement. We should be looking
that you allow a southerner to rule a country.
Believe me, I can tell you about
the
Kaduna.
Same thing happened in Gombe State. You know that we have Christian parts in Gombe State. Let me mention the same thing happens in even Nasarawa State.
You can also talk about Taraba.
Taraba State. Are you saying that they can allow a northern Christian to rule there?
I can give you a typical example of Kaduna State, because it's the first one you spoke about.
Yes.
In Kaduna State, in the early days of this nascent democracy that we're having, when there was a contest when Makarfi was about to leave power, and late Senator Isaiah Ballat, along with Mohammed Namadi Sambo, were contesting on one political party, then the PDP. And when they went for primary election, Isaiah Ballat is a Christian from southern Kaduna. Namadi Sambo is a Muslim from central Kaduna. But during the primary elections, when it went, Makarfi was the governor of Kaduna State. Believe me, Isaiah Ballat beat Namadi Sambo at the primary election. It was just cancelled because it was beaten. And that was a government arrangement, not the people of Kaduna's arrangement.
It was a political arrangement.
It was a political arrangement for the people, the citizens of Kaduna, who voted for Isaiah Ballat. Don't forget, the delegate that went to do the primary election, Southern Kaduna, like you rightly said, had a less number of local government, which means the majority of the local government out of the 23 are coming from the Muslim area of Kaduna. Notwithstanding, the Muslims voted massively during the primary election for Isaiah Ballat that almost beat Namadi Sambo. Makarfi had to cancel that election in the night and said it has to be redone the following day. He refused the announcement. And Makarfi is alive. Namadi Sambo is still alive to bless the memory of late Isaiah Ballat. And he was so proud to mention it anywhere, even in the Senate when he became the senator. He was representing Zone 3.
Zone 3.
He was proud to say it even at the gallery of the Senate that he was massively voted during the primary election by the Muslim North or Muslim majority in Kaduna State. That was that. Coming to the time of Yakowa, Namadi Sambo became the governor. Yakowa was the deputy governor 2 years in the administration of Namadi Sambo, he was late Musa Radua died of blessed memory, and then Namadi Sambo was made the vice president, and Yakowa became the governor based on the constitutional arrangements. Don't forget, there was a recontested election between Yakowa
didn't you think it's an incumbent power?
It is not an incumbent power. Yakowa would. Can you compare the incumbent power of Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari when he came, and then Buhari beat Jonathan while Jonathan was a sitting president, and he allowed it to go? So it was not about religion.
Thank you very much. I believe in Nigeria. I believe in continuity and the unity of Nigeria as one country with one destiny and people under God. I believe that power should be based on quality, not quantity. Power should be based on patriotism. Power should be based on nationalism. Leadership, when I say power, I'm talking about leadership. National or central leadership should be based on who has the capacity, who has the zeal, who has the will, who has the people at heart, who has the patriotism to move the country forward, not necessarily regionalizing power or bringing in religion or ethnicity into central power. That is office of the president issue.